Well, hello my little beauties, it's David Connolly here, the web developer extraordinaire. And today I have something very special for you folks. I'm going to be doing a website review. Brian was good enough to get in touch, asked if I'd have a look at his site. He was telling me that he's been doing work, but the work he gets, you know, at least from this site, is kind of low grade, sometimes even freebies. And so he asked if I would have a little look at his site, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to be brutally honest. And then I'm going to do the unthinkable. After I have demolished this site, I'm going to show you my own website. That's right, you've never seen it before. And you are going to see the website of the web developer extraordinaire. It's coming up. But first, let's have a look at this site here, because there are things going on here that 99% of you folks are doing, and quite frankly, there are people out on YouTube land giving out terrible advice. I mean, most of the advice that I see being dished out is either very generic or just bad advice. And the tragedy that is about to unfold, ladies and gentlemen, is of a web developer who's very talented, intelligent, hardworking, doing all the right things. But his site is bringing in nothing. Listen please, as the web developer extraordinaire unleashes the truth. So here we go. Right, we start off on this homepage here. Now immediately, I don't see the name of the company, and I don't really know exactly what I'm dealing with. We look at, I'll be quick. I could talk about this site for 3 hours actually. I'll try and be quick. But immediately, who are you? Is it a company? What do you do? Is it a person? Do you work from a big office? Do you work from home? Is it a partnership? Do you outsource? What is the vibe? I have no clue. But when we go to the homepage, we see a beacon of trust. And Brian is an intelligent character, you know. And he knows, from having gone through some of the web design masterclass, that the colour blue represents trust. And obviously a lot of thought has gone into this picture. I dare say, if we could sit down with Brian right now and share a high tea with some scones, I'm absolutely sure that he could rattle off all sorts of stories and explanations behind this image. Unfortunately, as intelligent and as nice as it might be, this is pretty much a disaster. And let me tell you why, folks. I'm going to use a little bit of my incredible expertise, and I'm going to show you what your clients see. Are you paying attention, Brian? And other developers, because there are things going on here that you folks are doing as well, okay? And this is what this site says, okay? That's it. That's it right there. That's what your website says. And let me just refresh. Whoops, a daisy. Let me just refresh and I'll show you the vibe, okay? Okay, so here is the vibe as I refresh the page. If I were to go to a web developer in Kuala Lumpur and I was to say to that web developer, hey man, I'm thinking of hiring you, can I trust you? What do you think the dude from Kuala Lumpur would say? That's right, Chico. He would say, you can trust me. Now, suppose I headed to Timbuktu, Australia, Poland, America, anywhere, and I'm thinking of hiring a developer. Is there any sane developer on the planet who'd say, well, actually, you can't trust me? The answer is no. And so, this line at the and I love the word beacon, by the way. It's one of my favourite words. It has a plosive at the start and everything. But with all due respect, this sentence says nothing. Literally nothing. It may as well say, I am a sentence, or I am a human being, or here are some words. It does not tell me who you are, what we do, or what you should do next, which is stuff I'm going to come on to later on the Web Design Masterclass. And unfortunately, my friend, I say this in a spirit of macho love and compassion, this is not helping. Do not skip forward to the end when I show you my own website. That's the big surprise. You're going to love that. Now this point here, please don't skip ahead, right? This here, unfortunately, this is a violation of the don't broaden the focus principle, as discussed in the 22 Immutable Laws of Branding, which was written by Al Ries. And when you add multiple things here like this, it just weakens the focus. And in fact, when you go to the Our Work page, the services page, you'll see these things here. I call them the flipperoos, and when we do that, they flip. And when I first came on here, I was clicking like this, but nothing happens, you know. And all of these flipperoos, they really just broaden the focus, and they don't really serve a purpose. If you take, for example, icon design, right? All right, you do icon design. So I'm going to click on it. Shabla blah 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 blah, sham blah 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 blah. We are expert blah blah blah, expert app icon designers. Okay. Well, thank you for elaborating. Thank you for your elaboration on icon design and app development and graphic design and all of that stuff. But you see, all of this is broadening the focus and therefore weakening the message. Now, there is a couple of other things that I want to show you here. This page here coming up, this page looks like it was made by Apple. I think this is a fantastic looking page, and it's a page that makes me very sad, because when I click on any of these things, Brian has done all the right stuff. I told you he was an intelligent character, right? Not only has he provided fantastic images, look at this, you can even slide it along. And by the way, don't they look fantastic? These designs are absolutely brilliant. And he provides it all, and then with great integrity and diligence, he describes in detail what he did as far as the project goes. That's a beacon of trust. That, ladies and gentlemen, is integrity. And I went through the whole thing, and he does this for all of them. You can pick any one of these at random. Let's do this. Let's try this one. And when you go in, same old story, everything explained, even a button. He's doing all the right stuff. Let me show you some more of all the right stuff and some more hard work here. You go to articles and look at this. Wonderful articles. And by the way, these are not Mickey Mouse waffly articles. No, he is writing about technical stuff. Let's click in. Look, the dude knows about code and everything. See, it's all here. I told you he was an intelligent character. And look at all of the work that he has done. Everybody's watching thinking, this is fantastic. Look at that smiling face. I mean, everything is perfect. And everything is wrong. That's right. Everything is wrong. Here's why. This homepage is a wasted opportunity. It says nothing. It sells nothing. Forgive me, but that's the vibe. Next, this page here. I agree it looks fantastic. I agree. This, in terms of presentation skills, this is better than anything I could come up with. Guess what? It's a disaster. There are a few reasons why it's a disaster, but I'll give you a couple of them right now. One reason is this. When you go to the site and you land on the home page, it says Our Work. Can you see that? It very clearly says Our Work. When we go on to services, it says, and let's have a look. You're in safe hands with us. we can build custom e-commerce solutions. However, when we go into the work section, and yes, what can I tell you? My attention to detail knows no limits. Because when we go through this, don't get me wrong, the writing, the presentation, it's fantastic. I love all of this stuff. However, I developed a website. Hello. What on earth happened to the we? What happened to the we stuff? You see what I'm saying? And every single one, I was contacted. Not our work and our, not I, the concept I came up with. Can you see how this is conflicting with the overall vibe? So when I'm on this website, I don't know if I'm dealing with a company or a lone ranger. I don't even know if I'm dealing with a partnership. Does he have an office? Is he working from his granny's basement? I have no clue. And if I go to the contact page, which is where clients are going to go almost straight away, there's no indication. I don't know where he's from or anything. Now, you may say that this is the the information superhighway, and who cares, right? Who cares? You can be anywhere. Well, actually, people do care, and I know that it's possibly a bit stupid, but they do. And so, give them an address. I don't care if it's a P.O. box or anything. Just give them an address. On my own incredible site, which I'll show you at the end of this, I give them my accountant's address, and he's okay with that. But that's unfortunate, And also, just as a very quick observation, this approved by EKM, that's demeaning. The reason why it's demeaning is because anybody who clicks that, if I'm a potential client and I click on that, then it says create your own successful online shop. So immediately I'm thinking, all right, is he doing some kind of dodgy reseller vibe? Now let me give you an example of what I mean. I was at a client's place very recently. I'll keep it as open-ended as that, like within the last 3 weeks. And the client was paying over $500 a month for some kind of social media marketing thing. And he had no idea what the client was doing, but part of the package was hosting. Now, I know for a fact that the hosting is peanuts to the pound. I mean, it's about a tenner a month or something like that. And the upshot of it is that I think the guy was being fleeced, and there are a lot of developers who act as these kind of slightly dodgy middlemen, and they'll get something from somewhere. So, for example, they'll maybe get a design from Design Crowd. They'll pay $300, but they'll charge the client $2,000. Stuff like that happens all the time. I mean, it's outrageous. Now, I'm not saying that that's happening here, but if I go on to, I don't think it's happening, because I've looked at your articles and you know how to code. However, when I see stuff like this here, it's sending out the wrong message. I'm now thinking, well, hang on, is this person just dealing with them? Maybe I could go straight to them. Why should I go deal with you, with your blue smoke? Maybe I can go directly here. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, let's go back. I'm breaking hearts here, but don't worry, I'm going to turn it all around. The other thing about the services, apart from the confusion, not services, pardon me, our work, which is actually my work. The other thing about that is, again, the focus is far too broad. Far too broad. For example, this looks like some kind of leaflet design or something like that. Okay, branding, perfect. I mean, the presentation is fantastic. But you know what? You should be doing that on a separate website. My advice, choose one, maybe two of these things and focus like a laser beam. This advice will change your life. Now, we head into the articles. This makes my heart bleed. It's such a precious thing to find people who can write well. Brian writes brilliantly. I can say that. I have a degree in English Lit. I know all about this stuff. He writes very well. And his articles are good. And he has clearly put dozens of hours of work into this site. But you know, as well as the confusion about the, you know, is it a team or is it a person? Where are they from? The focus too broad and everything. I would dare say that, well, how can I put this gracefully? If you're going... Okay, let me just be the arrogant asshole. I'm going to just say it. One of the things... I've been doing this for 22 years, right? And I've had really, really great clients. And I've had really, really duff clients. I've had everyone from plumbers, local plumbers, to in the boardroom of IBM having a standing ovation. Over the last 22 years, I've worked for very large, and by the way, when I say worked for, I don't mean clocking in like some kind of an asshole. I mean, they phoned and said, could you come down? Could you come to London? Could you come and come to our head office? We'd like to hire you. In fact, I was approached by JP Morgan about 3 weeks ago, which I've been bragging about on the live stream. And I know how to get approached by big giant companies and how to land huge gigs. And one of the ways that you get those big, huge 5-figure or 6-figure contracts is by not having small businesses on your portfolio. And I can't say it any more gracefully than that. Now, I'm not going to pick on any particular business here. Bless them all. I love them. And I have a small business. And I drive a small, humble car. And I'm late with my taxis this year. And, you know, I'm not in any way pretending to be Mr. Perfect. Look, all of these people are entrepreneurs. They make the lights go on. And I love them. And I respect them. But I'm just saying that I would say it's better to have no portfolio than a portfolio that's filled up predominantly with small businesses. Is that fair enough? Is that fair enough? Because, you know, I've sold, as I've said before, I've sold sites. My cheapest website was, 120 quid. My most expensive was about 100 and, if you count apps, 150,000. If you count online shops, over 80,000. I mean, I know how to land the big ones. But if you're, and again, I'll go off the page because I don't want to point fingers. There are some great companies there. But if you want to make the leap from 200-300, maybe 400 for a website, up to 4 grand, you know, 10 grand, 20 grand, right? To make the leap, you need to disassociate yourself with small businesses, you know? Now, finally, and again, this is kind of a quick review, but there's so much that I could say about this website. I'll leave you with a couple of other points, right? The other thing about this, you know, is that this is... Everybody's going to look at this and they're going to say, this is awesome. This is what does this blog do, right? What does it achieve? Well, it shows the prospects that the person offering this service is eloquent, intelligent, knowledgeable, active, up to date with technology. That's all fine. But you know, it's just a wee bit... It's a wee bit boring, you know? It's like a blog, man, you know? And I don't know if you've ever watched the TV show Suits, but there's a wee clip from Harvey Specter, who's kind of like the modern day Fonz. It's only a couple of seconds, and I hope YouTube will let me away with playing this.
Life is this. I like this.
Alright man, now I know that the sound was rubbish there, but I'm just holding the microphone up to the screen. I'm not much of a video editor and I haven't really got time to faff about with this. But did you hear the words? Did you hear the man? This is the vibe. Keep this in mind, right? Let's do that just one more time if we can. This is our quote of the week, my fellow insiders. This is the quote of the week. This is what's going to set you free, right?
Life is this. I like this. This. Life is this. I like this.
Now, with that in mind, we go back here. And here's the thing. Yes, I'm glad you know. Oh, yeah, great knowledge. Guess what? It's a blog. It's boring. Services just looks to me like you've just picked up a template and you've gone through each of these things and wrote them down and thought, well, maybe that'll look nice. I would bet my house that you never actually coded in any of this stuff that spins around. And all it's doing is damaging you, damaging your interests. Look at all of this social media stuff. Now, I'm not going to click them all, but I clicked on the Twitter one here as an example. And if you look at it, I'm taking a trip to Heartbreak Hotel. Why? Because look at the work. It's beautiful. Everything is awesome. And it's wasted energy. Now, I know that you're thinking, I've been a bit harsh here. And I agree. I have been a bit harsh. But fear not, because I'm going to show you my own website. And when you look at my own website, you will see a glimpse of perfection. You will see the greatest web developer's professional website ever. A site so good that I've never even shown it here before. And I want you to compare my website with this website. Are you ready for the perfection? Okay, here it comes. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my website. That's it. Just one page. It's a shame it's so high up. Maybe I should have brought the margins in or something. I'm using a big screen. That's my website. That's all there is. And it's all you need. It says the name of the company. It says where I'm from. And then it says it's a UK-based web development company. The goal is to build elegant online applications which solve problems for the business community. But I'm intelligent enough to know that most people will be bored before they reach the end of that sentence. This is my website. Some of you folks are thinking, where's the portfolio? Where's the portfolio? Ladies and gentlemen, I have no portfolio. I've never had a portfolio. Not in 22 years. And the big news flash is that you do not need a portfolio. You don't need a CV. You don't need to write thousands and thousands of articles that nobody reads. You don't need a massive social media presence. In fact, you can be 1,000 times more effective with 1/10 of the workload that you are currently going through. And I'm so glad, Brian, that you showed me this site, because what you're doing is kind of, I don't want to say, well, it's kind of a common story, because web developers are generally an intelligent bunch. And it's so sad when you see developers who are really hardworking and they're doing all the quote right things, unquote, and yet nothing's coming in. And it's not you, it's not your fault, it's just because you've been given bad advice. It's so sad. Now, my advice to you is very, very simple. You need to take Harvey Specter's philosophy on board. Instead of doing a blog, why not do a seminar, a book, maybe an online course, a YouTube channel, a podcast? Why not really, really amplify the stuff that you're doing, and why not just be heard? Now, some of those things sound like cliches, right? We've all seen the kind of self-help type videos on YouTube. We say, yeah, do a seminar. Folks, I've done it, and it's remarkably simple. You just put an ad in the paper. Well, for me, it was a site called Gumtree. I don't know if you have it wherever you are, but I chucked an ad up on Gumtree. I probably paid about $5, and I was like, you know, I think it was SEO I was teaching. It might have been design usability. And I was like, here it is, 2-day seminar, you know, and I was like, okay, come along, learn this stuff. And I charged hundreds, and people showed up. Can you believe it? And all I needed was a projector that I just borrowed from somebody. And I headed in and I did a seminar. And it's easy. You can actually do this stuff. All it takes is a wee bit of confidence. And once you've done something like that, then forever and a day you are the seminar guy. You know, it's like I'm doing a. I mean, it's mad to think. I'm doing a conference next month. I've never done a conference before, but they invited me, and I'm doing a conference. And it's like when you start, you know, when you start putting stuff out there that's really, really, like, for want of a better word, remarkable, then that is when the phone rings. You know what I'm saying? That's when the phone rings. So I say, be confident, be bold, have a laugh, and send your stuff right out there, and be authentic as well. When I did I'll just give you a wee bit of insider information. When I did the high paid developer training, and whenever it was, years ago, one of the guys who came on board, he wouldn't mind me telling you this, was a guy called Michael Thomas, who went on and became much more popular than me on YouTube. And he does excellent videos. Well, actually, he doesn't do too many because he's really busy. He has tons of work. And when you look at a guy like Michael Thomas, you'll notice, and I'm not claiming full credit for his career or anything like that, but what's interesting about Michael Thomas is that he conducts himself with a degree of integrity, the likes of which I have never seen in this industry. For example, when he started off a few years back, he was doing videos on YouTube and going on and saying, I've been learning Swift, and you know, it's really difficult, but I'm trying my best. And you can see the look in the guy's face, and he's totally upfront. He's like, oh man, and you know, doing my best, but it's not easy and all that. And he was totally authentic. There was no, here's me driving a Lamborghini stuff, you know. And one of the things that I've learned, especially since doing YouTube, is that the more you return to the point of authenticity, the more you be you, unashamedly, then the more people gravitate towards that. The phone rings and opportunities appear, and it's incredible. So here's an example. Remember I was talking about how your own site is like, we do this and our company and our services, but then you look at it and it's like, I was approached, blah, 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 blah. You need to resolve that. And really and truly, I don't care if you have a large company or if you're based in a basement. If you are some Lone Ranger working from a basement, that's fine. I'm a Lone Ranger. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Embrace that. I don't care if you're working from the garden shed of your great uncle or something. It doesn't matter. Be that person and be authentic. Be absolutely authentic. This is my office, you know. There's roaches climbing the walls. I drive a small car. You've heard me saying that. Here, you want some honesty? I'm late with my taxis this year. I'm actually late. They were due in July and stuff came up and I've just not had a chance. I've been late with my taxis. Last year, I hardly earned a thing. I spent a year out learning Node.js. Do you see what I'm talking about? And nobody, I can say that fearlessly. Nobody's listening and saying, oh, what a plonker, what a loser. No, when you listen, anybody who's listening this far, man, thank you and congratulations, because now is the gold. This is the real gold. When you move towards your true, authentic self, not trying to be some big company or super successful guy, but just being you, whatever that may mean. When you do that, I'm telling you, that is when the real magic happens. Now, I've shown you folks what my site looks like, and I wish I had time to show you more of what I'm doing. I'm going to leave with a little mini kind of sales pitch. Pardon me. So here comes my sales pitch. On Monday, the 1st of October, it shall be a brand new month. My plan, which is taken very seriously, is to make 20 grand next month. I'm aiming for 20 grand, and I think that's reasonable. If you are a developer, you should be earning 20 grand a month from home. Lots of you folks know that I've been doing live streams and stuff, and I really enjoy that, and I'm delighted to do that and show you that stuff. But I've never actually shown you folks how I find the clients. You know, you've never had a chance to check out the emails that I send, the various messages and whatnot that go backwards and forwards. I was out seeing a client today, in fact, and I'm constantly out and about and, you know, closing deals and stuff and setting things up. And I've never came on and spoke about that stuff. But you see, I have this idea and I think I'm going to do it. And the idea is that for 1 month only, I'm going to be opening the doors to a very select few. And this is not going to be free. Far from it. I'm charging, you know, because this stuff took me 14 years to figure out. But the idea is very simple. I'm going to be doing video reports for 1 month. And it's not going to be some generic chart and here's how much I made. We've all seen the YouTube videos. Some guy like, yeah man, I made 10 million last month, and they've got no proof or anything. I'm not doing that. Instead, I'm going to be saying, here's who I approached. Here's the message I sent. There is their name and address. And I've never met them. And I'm meeting them next week. And here's my bank account. I don't give a shit. I'll show you the whole thing. I don't care. I have no secrets. And so imagine if you had 1 month where you basically just get to see exactly what I'm doing with daily reports, and all you have to do is just watch what I'm doing and then take on board the various training resources that I'm dishing out. So this would mean probably going into the high paid developer archives. There's a whole load of stuff there, and teaching you folks how to position yourself as experts, how to find clients and close deals and all of that stuff. And all you have to do is just copy me. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably, well, I have to say probably, I'm probably going to even record some interviews and sales pitches and stuff. I know that there are legal things and you don't want to sneak cameras in, but I'm confident enough that if I said to a prospect, look, I am the web developer extraordinaire and I'm teaching, would you mind if I recorded this interview or this sales pitch or whatever, they would probably be okay with it, and I'd be delighted. And by the way, none of this is to do with charisma or being funny or being a genius or anything. This is very simple stuff and nobody's teaching it. So if you really are interested in coming on board the fun bus, that is my little pre-sales pitch for anyone out there. And I do hope that you'll think about that. I'll be making hopefully a more formal announcement later on, but in the meantime, I hope this has been handy. I hope that this has been useful. And remember, Brian, you can do this. Everything that you're doing is good. All I'm saying is, it's time for you to raise the bar and be remarkable.